Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to learn about the K-maps and also how to find out the prime implicates and essential prime implicates. The next we will see what are prime implicates and essential prime implicates. Let us look into what is a implicate. Every single logic 0 cell gives a sum term which is termed as a implicate. So every logic 0 cell will be called as an implicate. The second one is prime implicate. The prime implicates are obtained by all possible groupings of logic 0 cells, which gives rise to a sum term. The next one is essential prime implicate. So a prime implicate on a Karnaugh map which covers at least one logic 0 which is not covered by any other prime implicate are termed as essential prime implicates. We'll consider an example f of ABCD equal to product M 1, 4, 5, 9, 11 plus don't care 2, 10. Let's obtain the prime implicants and essential prime implicates. Also, we will obtain the prime implicates and essential prime implicates for the given Boolean function, which is a 4-variable function. So let's plot the K-map. So before we plot the K-map, we should observe that the given expression is a max term canonical form. So we need to place logic zeros for the given decimal numbers. So let's plot zeros in the K-map for the cell numbers 1, cell number 4, cell number 5, cell number 9, cell number 11. And we also have don't care terms for cell number 2 and 10. So let's place logic 1s in the remaining cells. Now, we already have seen in the previous video to obtain the prime implicants and essential prime implicants. So, in the first part of the question, let us obtain the prime implicants and essential prime implicants, where we need to group for logic ones, all possible grouping we need to form here in order to obtain the prime implicants and essential prime implicants. So, let us form the grouping here. So, let's start with the higher priority grouping, whether we can form octet or not. So from the plot we can see that we cannot form the octet, therefore we have to go for the next priority, that is quad. So easily we can see that we can form a quad by folding, considering all the corner cells including the don't cares. So therefore we form this quad and we'll name the grouping as 1. The next grouping is considering all logic ones horizontally. So let's form a group here and we'll consider this as group number 2. And by folding the K-map, we can easily form a quad again, considering these 4 logic ones, and we will name the group here as group number 3. Next, considering the logic ones, the remaining logic ones. So here in the cell numbers 3, 2, 7, 6, we can form a quad. We'll consider this as group number 4. Then still we can form the quads considering the cell numbers 7, 6, 15 and 14. Therefore, forming a quad here, considering this group as group number 5. There is one more possibility of forming a quad, considering a vertical cells in the last column. Let us consider this quad as group number 6. So we have done with all possible grouping. So let us write the prime implicants considering each of the group here. And remember that the prime implicants are the product of. So let's start writing the prime implicants considering group number 1, that is corner cells. So we can obtain the prime implicants as B bar D. B bar D bar. The group number 2, we can obtain the prime implicant AB. Considering group number 3, we can obtain the prime implicant A D bar. Considering group number 4, we can have a prime implicant A bar C. Considering group number 5, the rows and columns, considering group number 5, we have a prime implicant B, C. And considering group number 6, the last one in the last column, we can have the prime implicant C, D bar. So these are the prime implicants. Let us now write how to identify the essential prime implicant. We have already discussed. So let's start with the first group. The first group, B bar, D bar, that is group number 1, has a single logic 1 which is covered by only one group. Therefore, this will be considered as an essential prime implicant. The next one is prime implicant AB from second group. Even this group has a logic 1 which is covered by a single group. Therefore, this is also an essential prime implicant. The next one is third group. Third group do not have a logic 1 cell which is covered by only one group. Therefore, this is not an essential prime implicant. The next grouping is A bar C. A bar C is group number 4. We have a logic 1 cell which is covered only one time. Therefore, A bar C is an essential prime implicant. Then is group number 5. Group number 5 does not have a logic 1 which is covered by only one group. Therefore, this is not an essential prime implicant. The last one is group number 6, in which it has only two logic 1s which is not covered by a single group. Therefore, this is also not considered as an essential prime implicant. Now, to find out the prime implicates and essential prime implicates, the plot will be same as considered in the previous slide. So let us rewrite the same plot here. So 1 0, don't care, 1 0 0 1 1 1 0, don't care, 0 1 1 1 1. So this is the plot. Now, to obtain the prime implicates and essential prime implicates, we need to group for logic zeros. All possible grouping have to be done. Considering the highest priority as an octet, we cannot form octet in this plot. So we can go for the next formation of quad. Quad is also not possible. So next priority grouping will be forming pairs. So from this we can form a pair here, considering this as group number 1. Group number 2, one more pair. This is group number 2. Considering the don't care along with the 0, we can form a pair, considering this as group number 3, and we can form this pair considering group number 4, and by folding the K map we can form one more pair here. So this is group number 5. So let us now write the prime implicates considering each of the group here. Now, considering group number 1, we have a prime implicate A plus C plus D bar. Considering group number 2, we have prime implicate A plus B bar plus C. Considering group number 3, we have A bar plus B plus C bar. Considering group number 4, we have A bar plus B plus D bar. Considering group number 5, that is the folded one, we have B plus C plus D bar. Now, out of these 5 prime implicates, we can observe that only the group number A plus B bar plus C, that is group number 2 here. We can observe in this grouping we have a logic 0 which is covered by only one group. If we consider the other groups, we find that the logic zeros are covered by more than one group. So we only in group number 2 we have a logic 0 covered only once. Therefore, we can consider only the second prime implicate, that is A plus B bar plus C, as an essential prime implicate, and the remaining groups are not considered as an essential prime implicate. Next example is f of a, b, c, d equal to summation m 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 plus don't care 4, 6, 15. Let us obtain the prime implicants and essential prime implicants along with prime implicates and essential prime implicates. So for the given Boolean function, we need to place logic 1 for cell numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and we have to place don't care terms in cell number 4, 6, 15. The remaining cells we need to place logic zeros. Now we have already seen that to obtain the prime implicants and essential prime implicants, we need to group for logic ones. So let's start with the higher priority grouping, all possible grouping, and including don't care terms, we can form the we can cover the logic ones here. So let's plot the K-map. Let's start grouping. So here we can easily see that we can form an octet. So let us consider this as group number 1. Now the next grouping is forming a quad, the adjacent 4 cells. Let's number this as group number 2. And we have 2 more logic 1 cells which is left out here. We can cover this by folding the K-map, and we can form a quad considering group number 3. So let's now write the prime implicant. Considering group number 1, we can write the prime implicant as prime implicant B, and considering group number 2, we have A bar D. Considering group number 3, we have A D bar. So these are the prime implicants. Now if we look into every grouping, group number 1, group number 2 and group number 3, we have logic 1 cells in every group which is covered by only one group. Therefore, all these prime implicants are considered to be as an essential prime implicant. So we have all the 3 as essential prime implicants. Now let us find out the prime implicates and essential prime implicates for the same plot, same Boolean function. So let's plot the K-map again. So this will be 0, 1, 0, 1, don't care 1, don't care 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, don't care. In order to obtain the prime implicate and essential prime implicates, we need to group for logic zeros. So let's form the grouping. Octet is not possible here. So let's go for quad. By folding the K-map, we can group this. Consider this as group number 1. And we have 0 here. Along with don't care, we can form a pair. So let's consider this as group number 2, and we can form one more pair considering this as group number 3. So now let us write the prime implicates. Considering group number 1, we have the prime implicate as A plus D, A plus D, and considering group number 2, we have A bar plus C bar plus D bar. Considering group number 3, we have A bar plus B plus it is D bar. Now from all these groups, we can see that from group number 1, we have a logic 0 which is covered by only one group. Therefore, group number 1 is considered as an essential prime implicate. So here let's write it. It is A plus D, essential prime implicate. And group number 2, that is A bar plus C bar plus D bar, is not an essential prime implicate. Next, the third grouping, A bar plus B plus D bar, is an essential prime implicate. So as there is a logic 0 cell which is covered by only one group. So these are prime implicates and essential prime implicates. So this is the important note you have to observe. In order to find the prime implicates, we need to always form all possible grouping. First, if the given expression is summation m or SOP form, you have to place logic ones in the K-map and you have to group logic ones and you have to write a product terms. Suppose if given expression is product m or POS form, you need to place logic zeros in the K-map, you have to group logic ones and write the product terms. Similarly, to find out the prime implicates, again here you have to form all possible grouping. If the given expression is summation m or SOP form, then you have to place logic ones in the K-map. You have to group for zeros, write the sum terms. Similarly, if the given expression is product m or POS form, you need to place logic zeros in the K-map and you have to group for logic zeros and write the sum terms. Thank you.